Mr. Hanna, proceed.
Well, you don't know that. You don't know how to sign up.
Mr. Commissioner, in regard to statements that have been made so far today, I sympathize with Commissioner Durrell's statement that it is not pleasant to be treated with disrespect or contempt, but it seems that in the newspapers and in any reference made toward anyone who dares to uphold the tenets of the Ten Commandments in the Bible, we have been accused of being bigots, hate mongers, and homophobes by a certain segment of the community. So we know what it's like to be treated with contempt. Perhaps one of the reasons there's an 8-to-1 ratio here this morning is because there's a more than 10-to-1 ratio on the balance of both sides of the issue. But that's not why I'm here. I'm here today to speak on behalf of our children. The children that we raise with a certain lifestyle that we teach them, a way of behaving, a way of believing. And our children are under attack. Our children, we have a concern for because there is a lifestyle being foisted upon them that is in violation of God's natural law by the legislation that is before Congress now. I have presented evidence here to say that the homosexual community is actively engaged in the recruitment of children into their lifestyle. And to that I am vehemently opposed. If you would turn with me to the documentation for that I have provided in the handouts I distributed. On the top of the 3rd page, Christy Kaiser alluded to this information. Here it is in print. The British Journal of Sexual Medicine published a study in 1987 finding that homosexuals were about 18 times more likely than heterosexuals to engage in sex with minors. A psychological report in 1986 revealed that homosexuals, who represent perhaps 2% of the population, perpetrate more than 1/3 of all reported child molestations. And the 1972 Gay Rights Platform, which has not been changed in 20 years, calls for repeal of all state laws prohibiting private sexual acts involving consenting persons, as well as repeal of all laws governing the age of sexual consent. And then I attract your most focused attention to the statement in the middle of the page made by Michael Swift, writing for the Gay Community News, where he says, "We shall sodomize your sons, emblems of your feeble masculinity. We shall seduce them in your schools, in your dormitories, in your gymnasiums, in your locker rooms, in your sports arenas, in your seminaries, and in your youth groups." Yes, there is an active agenda on behalf of the homosexual community to recruit our children. We, as caring parents, you as elected officials of this community, should be concerned with that. You should have a basic moral concern. It has been said by at least one commissioner that this commission has no business getting involved in this question. Well, I call your attention to a scriptural reference in Matthew, and that reference says, "But if anyone causes one of these little ones who believes in me to sin, it would be worse for him to have a large millstone hung around his neck and to be drowned in the depths of the sea. Woe to the world because of the things that cause people to sin. Such things must come, but woe to the man through whom they come." Ladies and gentlemen, as commissioners, you do have business dealing with this issue. As elected officials of this community who has expressed to you today their feelings about homosexuality, you have an obligation and a responsibility to address this issue. And as a representative of the Tennessee Christian Coalition, I urge you to vote yes to Resolution 121. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.